Good morning, Bud Haggerty on I Can Fix That. Today's project is going to be building a privacy fence in my backyard right now. And as you can tell, I'm kind of making it a like a Jimmy Buffett kind of Margaritaville deal. And I do have some access here behind my house. There's a little walking trail. So I got nothing against people walking by, but I'm just looking for a little bit more privacy because sometimes I play my guitar and have a couple people over. So I'll show you where the area that we're talking about. Right about here, as you can tell, right in front of me, this area here, my neighbors are there. I do like my neighbors, no problem there. But I got a walkway there and people can kind of look in. So I'm going to throw up a fence here. And I'll show you my strategy here. I don't want to make it where it's completely blocking traffic flow. So here's what I'm going to measure. Okay, I'm going to start it right at this bush over here. And then I'll measure it off right now. I'll kind of show you. About 8 feet. So it's an 8-foot fence. It could be 8'6". I'm going to custom make it. That's the beautiful thing about custom making it. But the only thing I will say on that, you got to keep in mind when you buy lumber, it comes in 8-foot length, 10-foot lengths. So I want to be efficient to use the maximum amount of lumber without any waste. So in this particular case, since I'm saying about 8 foot, 9 foot, if I use 4x4 posts, which are really 3.5 inches, 2 of them, it's going to be 7 inches plus my 8 feet. So I'm going to be about 8.5. So I think I can design this to where it's going to be a dream sitting in there. Okay, I'm back from Lowe's. Here's what I got. These beams right here are 4x4s. They're 8 foot long, and the other ones are 10 foot. This guy here is 10 foot, and that's 10 foot. And what I'm going to do, because remember, in the world of fence building, there is no hard and set fast rules, and there's no like, oh, it's got to be done this way. There's a lot of different ways the same mission can be accomplished. As a matter of fact, I just changed my mind. I decided to make the fence 10 foot long instead of 8 foot long. But the lumber I bought is perfect. It's 10 foot long lengths and 8 foot long lengths. So it was easy to make it work. So the 4x4 10 foot longs are now going to be the length. And for me, I want to make it pretty heavy duty, but not like it's got to stand hurricane force winds. Remember, it's just really a privacy fence. I'm going to be using the pickets over here, which are cedar pickets. I got a whole bunch of them. They're there. But we'll be putting those on. You can kind of see I laid it out a little bit. That's a cedar picket. I'm going to have 5 inches off the bottom beam that goes across and 5 inches across the top. The reason I'm doing that up here is maybe later on I want to put a set of lights. I can put it inside a pocket right there. Also, as you can see over here, I already pre-marked it. See that line right there? That's how much of that beam is going into the ground. So it's 8 foot long. I pretty much got 2 feet in the ground. So I'll have 6 feet above the ground, and the picket will be a little bit higher. So it's almost going to be about a 6.5 foot fence high. I got this right here. That's what I'm going to anchor those 4x4s. I went with 4x4s on both directions. And right here, you'll see what these are. This is going to go through the 4x4 into the other 4x4. So they're 6 inches long. So that's what I'm going to use to secure it. And then we'll move on. But oh yeah, here we go. Let me get you this right here, right here. Do you see that other 10-foot beam right there is laid on top because I have this one set up this way where we're going end to end. Now this beam doesn't fit inside there, so I got to cut this length off twice, which is about 3.5 inches. So I need to take 7 inches off this beam and then it'll drop right in there. So nothing big. I got one cut, which is nice. I always try to use lumber that's already pre-cut. This is all dimensional lumber that I bought at Lowe's, already pre-cut. I'm making one cut to build the entire frame. So less is more. What I'm going to do now, just to show you, here's my idea that I come up with. This is going to be my spacer between the pickets. So every time I put a board down and nail it down, I'll flip this over, and this right here will be my custom template spacer. And every spot that's gapped on the other side, I'll put a board there. And you won't be able to see through it, but it look kind of cool. Again, you can do whatever you want in the world of fence building when you're doing it yourself and making it custom. There's no set rule. Okay, what I'm going to do now is secure the 4x4s with this Simpson strong tie. This is a piece of metal, heavy duty, and I'm going to put it in with a outdoor exterior wood screw. Usually if you're doing it in the construction field, there's special nails that go with this, but this is just a privacy fence, so it's not going to go anywhere. But you just want to make sure you use a screw. This is coated. It's an exterior outdoor screw. It's going to last a long time. Don't try to use a sheetrock screw. It'll snap later on. You're not going to be happy. So let's move on. Okay, we got it all laid out here. Of what I kind of plan on doing here, but I noticed one thing. I'm using cedar planks, and the way they're cut, they're so thin that there seems to be, let me show you from this angle, too much flexibility. I can push them up and down. I don't like it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the Lowe's, and I'm going to grab a 10-foot 2x4 pressure treated and put it right here in the middle, just to give it support because it's too long of a span. Okay, I'm back from Lowe's. I got this piece here. Again, I'll brace it with these parts right there. I was going to do it right now, but I've got breaking news on the project. When you put this project together, which I'm doing right here, to me the biggest back break for an older guy like myself is digging holes. So since this is Margaritaville and we don't want to work too hard, we brought in a specialist, a young buckaroo. What's your name?
My name's Camden.
Camden, you're going to dig the holes, right?
Right, I've already got a good start on it right here.
That's it. We took the 2 pegs right here and here, and the reason we came up with this number where those 2 stakes are at is we measured from here all the way to here, and so the center of this post and the center of this post is 117 inches, right? Okay, and that's where he's got them. So now he'll take that old post hole digger that I had to get out, and by the way, we almost got attacked by a wasp, right?
Oh yeah, it was a hard process getting that.
Yeah, that was a whole video in itself.
Right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to have you dig while myself sits in a chair, and Ginger, you're going to sit in a chair too. So we'll manage the job. But another thing I want to tell you, I made them draw a line, which is right there. That is 20 inches. So 20 inches down, we want to put this thing on both of them. Can you do it?
I think I can do it.
All right, we're going to start the hole digging process. I don't know if you've ever used one of those, but I'm here to help. Okay, how's the digging going?
It's going good. We only have about 3 more inches on both of these holes right here.
That's 20 inches down. That one looks pretty good, and we'll go check this one. And we're getting there. Nice. Okay, me and the young lad dug out the holes 20 inches. We picked it up. Let me go back here so you can see. We picked it up and popped it into place. Now we got to level it up. And there's our bubble level right there. I'll zoom in on that, and that looks pretty good right there. But we got a lot more leveling to do. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bust up some blocks, actually little bricks, and we're going to start putting a little dry concrete in the holes and get this thing all leveled up. All right, Ginger? Okay, here is what I'm doing. I'm taking high strength concrete mix, which is cheap. It's $4 or $5 a bag. We're going to fill it up halfway with dry powder. That's it, only halfway, just a little bit more. and work it all the way around. Don't put any more in than that. I'll tell you why, because we're gonna fill that on top. Just maybe one more handful is fine in the back, very in the back. Yeah, okay. Now we're gonna do this side as well. Bring it on down here, and see that? Look how strong that guy is. That's, you know, it's unbelievable. Not only can he carry a book bag to school, he has the ability to do that as well. So we're gonna put that, that's gonna be our base. When we get halfway up with the concrete, we're gonna stop because we wanna level this thing. And the way we're gonna level it, we're gonna use Mr. Bricks right here. I'll show you. I'm gonna get a hammer, I'm gonna bust these up, and I'm gonna use the bricks and level it. Next part of our operation, I instructed the young lad to take the claw hammer and bust those bricks up so we can have pieces. He's doing it. Well, oh, there he's breaking up. Okay. Okay, Camden's pushing on that a little bit to get it level, and I'll show you. If you look down, that's where we're at right here. So I'm going to take, let me get that in focus a little better. I'm gonna take a block, something like this, and jam it in there, jam it down there. Let me see if I can get that there. Kind of jam that in there, get my hammer. I'm gonna bang that a little bit so I can get it real compressed so it doesn't move when I put the rest of the concrete on it. We got the X and Y absolutely perfect level, and look what we have down there. Do you see that? I jammed everything in there so it really can't move. I'm gonna pour concrete on top of that after we're done. And don't worry about that hose line right there. That's that used to be an irrigation line that's not in use anymore. Not that you really would care, it's my house. What do you care? Over here, we still gotta level it up, but look at this. That is right where we want her to be. Level on all fronts.
Right.
So how you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good about this.
Okay.
It's a good experience.
Sure is. All right, Camden, this is your first official plumb job. How does it look right there? Is it level?
It looks great. It's level on all sides of this fence structure right here.
Okay. All right. Now we're ready to fill it up with concrete. Now that we got everything wedged there so it's not going to move, let me go back, take that bag of concrete, and start dumping it all in both holes.
And we're going to fill it to the ground level.
Yep, and then we'll tamp it down ever so lightly and double check everything and let this set up overnight. Now that the concrete's in, I got the concrete about 3-4 inches below because I don't want to take it all the way to the top. I want some natural earth there. So what I'm doing now is barely put a little bit of moisture to it. I don't want to flood it because that may move my balancing that I did. I just want to put a little bit. Watch, I'll just sprinkle this on here, just a little bit of water, just a tiny bit over there. Clean off that a little bit. That'll settle down in there. Then let's do this side. I'm not going to go crazy, just getting a little bit of concrete because moisture will get in there naturally and take this thing off. That's all I'm putting there. Let me put a little bit more over here. And that's it. I'm taking that off. I'll let that settle in, and I'll do one more check to make sure everything's leveled up, and this thing will be set up nice overnight. Tomorrow I can start banging in the boards and get Margaritaville going. Okay, everything's set up. It's really almost nighttime out here now. I will do a final check. Okay, let's put the level on over here. Looks really good that way. Looks really good that way. And down here. I'll put this down here. And it looks really good that way. So here it is, probably set up 50%. It's the concrete's definitely setting up. And the fact that I got all that stuff wedged in there, it's not going anywhere. So tomorrow we'll be in business as far as this thing setting up. Okay, now that the cement has dried, I need to put these guys in here. Just for a little extra security. So what I want to do is take this drill bit, go all the way through the 4x4 and barely get into there That way I can pound this in and screw it in with the socket. Just to give it a little bit of extra. This thing should go in pretty good. Nice and level going in. I already marked the center of this, and the center of this is right here. I got a little mark there just to double check. Oh no, it's actually down here. There, right there. Nice and level. There. That's tight. Feel kind of Amish, like building a barn. Remember I told you the distance from this 4x4 to this 4x4 is too good for the cedar planks that I have. They kind of bow in here, so I'm going to put a another board in here, which I got right here. So how I figured out where that was at, I measured from the top to the bottom. This is absolute dead center where the 2x4 has to be split there. And I did it on both sides, so instead of bore you with the details, it's all ready to go. See, I already have the little piece on the end. And we'll come over here and find that exact spot and put the screws on it. That's right in the middle, and I got it braced right there, so that'll be the middle member on this whole wall for the boards. Let me focus that. So there we go. Now I can start assembling boards. I got one more thing to do, a little bit of math problem. Okay, the last thing I got to do before I start screwing these cedar boards onto the structure is a math problem. The cedar plank here and the spacer combined are about 9 1/4. So I want to start right here like this, with this first one being flush with this, so it looks nice. But hopefully at the other end I end up with a piece of wood on this and not hanging out looking weird. So let's run some numbers. That's 9 1/4. The entire length is 120 inches. So I'm going to get my calculator out and divide and see how it'll come out. Hopefully the last board is at the other end, just there, full. If not, I might have to make some adjustments. So I'll run the numbers and let you know how it comes out. Okay, let's do some math here. It is 120 inches and 1/4. And I got to divide that by each segment is 9.25, which is 9 1/4. 13 is our number. It's going to take 13 boards. But now we got to figure out if that's 13 boards from end to end. I see a problem where I'm going to have to move this board over. This one over here. I'll show you. Well, if I've done my math right, I can't start it here because at the other end it'll end up looking like that. So what I'm going to have to do is compromise. I'll start it halfway here, and hopefully at the other end it should look like that as well, if I done my math right. Here's a little tip in case you didn't know. I ended up putting this little cartridge on here. See, this tip goes in here. The reason I did that is, see, this slides all the way down? It holds your screw because it's constantly falling off, and you need that hand, and you get this pointed in there. It makes the job so much easier. It's a cute little thing. I mean, you probably already have one, but just in case. Here's a couple of other tips building this fence. To make it easier, I use this block here as my template. All I have to do is bring the board up till it's flush there. So it'll be consistent all the way across. I'm gonna use 5 screws per board. 2 up here on each side, 1 in the middle, and then 2 down there. So this one's done. I got, what is that? 10 screws. I take it out, and that's it. That's the first one. I've already had the wife come out here and approve it. Surprising her at the end could backfire. I always get the sign off before I get the job done. You'll be much happier. I was making pretty good progress. Then I heard the front door slam, and I knew the other boss was home. Got a new guy on the job. Nick, how's it going?
Going good.
All right. All right. All right. So we got, as you can see, the only one that hasn't helped yet is Ginger.
I'll work for food.
We got the front side just about done, and then we'll start the back side. Good job, Nick. Do that other one. Again, I just want to let you know, of course, this right here, we screw it in with 1 screw. It's the perfect template, and the block at the top for the height, and then it's like, it's so easy, a caveman can do it. Or a kid that's in, what grade are you in?
7th.
7th grade. A 7th grader can do it. Not bad. All right. We'll have privacy in no time. There's a lot of breaks during this project. The worker has a lot of friends coming over that want to distract them and make them jump on the trampoline. You guys want them to jump on the trampoline?
Oh yeah, we love it.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Level, Nick. But the fence is definitely going up. And as you can tell, the whole idea is from this angle here, that's where the privacy is. When you're at certain angles, you can see through it, but if you're 90 degrees from it, you cannot see it. Works perfectly. Finished putting all the boards in. I put dirt around here, and I like to come in here and do a little tamp job, so you can put this here and beat it down. But I tamped it from this angle, all different ways. It compressed it. And remember, I have that concrete down there, so it's only about 4 inches of packing that behind there. So let's walk back and see the finished product. Ginger's inspecting everything. How's it look, Ginger?
I guess it's
As you can tell,
you realize a squirrel can still
we
run
are
underneath
at
this?
a 90-degree angle. And I think it turned out nice. I think it's doing its job. I did put a couple of boards on the ends instead of having that 4x4. I had a couple extra, so kind of dressed it up a bit that way. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And hope happy trails out there. And I will continue to improve Margaritaville and bring you videos along the way. I've got some pretty good ideas coming up.
Wait a second, is that a squirrel?